Every culture in the world has its own traditions for when someone dies. In Scotland, we hold a funeral. Family and friends gather to share stories and photos of the person who died.
There are often flowers, maybe some songs are sung, and the body might be put in a coffin, then buried in a graveyard. Every town and city in the UK has its own graveyard, and that's all very normal for us.
But when someone died in Jesus' culture in the ancient Middle East, their body would be wrapped in strips of cloth, just like an Egyptian mummy. And many cultures in the Middle East still do this today. Special ointments, spices, and perfumes would then be put on the body, and one of these was myrrh.
And if that rings a bell, myrrh was one of the gifts given to Jesus when he was a baby by the 3 wise men. Isn't that a weird gift to give to a baby? Perfumes for a funeral?
Finally, the body would be laid in a tomb, a cave, or a hole dug into the rock, and the tomb would be sealed so no animals could get in.
This might all seem strange to us, but it was completely normal in the 1st century Palestine.
The women who had come with Jesus saw the tomb and how Jesus' body was placed in it. Then they went home and prepared spices and perfumes.
Early in the morning, the women took the spices they had prepared. Then they went to the tomb. They found the stone rolled away from it. When they entered the tomb, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. They were wondering about this. Suddenly, 2 men in clothes as bright as lightning stood beside them. The women were terrified. They bowed down with their faces to the ground. Then the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? Jesus is not here. He has risen."
He's alive. You'll never believe it. Come on, I've seen him. I've spoke to him. I'll show you. Come with me.
My dog, because it cuddles into me when I feel sad.
When I was on the back of my grandpa's motorbike.
My little brother getting born.
When we went to caravan site and there was like a beach and there was horses running on it.
Going to Chester Zoo in Wales, we put on VRs and learned about sharks.
When me and my family went to Blackpool. What about you? I also we went on a bunch of rides. And guess what, I was getting dizzy. Yes, you was getting dizzy. You were like...
My friends and my family makes me happy most of the times, but my sister is really annoying most of the times.
Mary Magdalene and her friends were the first to spread the news that they'd seen Jesus alive.
Eventually, news like this started to spread all through the city and all through the country.
And you might think, surely Jesus' followers are just spreading rumours to get attention.
But if they weren't very smart, because anyone who had claimed to see Jesus alive or said they followed him could get arrested and killed too.
Nearly all 12 of his disciples were executed for what they were saying about Jesus. Some of them were crucified the same way Jesus had been.
So no matter what we think, they must have really believed it. Who would die for a story they knew was a lie?
For them, the news about Jesus was worth the danger. They believed the Messiah really did come, and he came to do something so much better than start a rebellion or take a throne.
He came to be a very different kind of king, for a very different kind of kingdom. One that starts right here.
Year after year, the story kept being told, and more people believed it. The news about Jesus reached every corner of the Roman Empire, and people started to call it the news, the good news.
People wanted to follow this new king and join this new kingdom.
A king that didn't need to defeat armies, but defeated death and evil.
A kingdom of hope, where we didn't need to fight wars to be free or find peace.
And so people from all over the Roman Empire started believing in this gospel, which means good news. And they started to be called Christians after Jesus Christ.
And it didn't stop there. This good news spread from person to person, country to country. Today there are Christians on every continent.
All around the world, every year, Easter is celebrated to remember
Not that Jesus died,
but that he came alive again.
and the good news, the gospel, is still spreading.